Well, good afternoon, everybody. What is going on in the world? Hold on, I gotta get something. Almost forgot. Almost forgot to set up my computer here so I can see. I don't have to turn my head to look at comments and whatnot. So making sure, making sure I got that done. I hope everybody's having a good day today. It's Wednesday, everybody, which means it's, for many people, Youth Day. Time for youth meetings, youth service, all that kind of good stuff. And tonight for us, we are doing water hockey. Now, you've probably seen this, probably on Facebook, where you got all these guys kind of playing hockey on this large blue mat-looking thing. Well, we can't reproduce that, but what I did do is I did take some sheets of, you'll see it because I'll put it up as a video. Sheets of plastic that I'm putting down inside the volleyball pit, and I think that's going to be the deal there. I think that's what's going to work tonight. Plus, I got these really tiny. Oh, let me put this down here. I got these really tiny. Hockey sticks and a ball. So I think that's going to work out pretty good. So, but that is on my agenda. Plus, we're going to do a game. I think I've done this. This is probably on. If you check and search the site here, it's going to be. I think it's called Blockheads. I think we did this last year. It's a fun game. It's just all you need is a cinder block to play this game. It's a super elimination game. It's just, everybody gets on there and you have to be on there and you have to stand on one leg for as long as you can on the cinder block. And then you kind of do terrible things to them, like spray them with water guns or, make them do silly things like sing songs or clap or things like that. So it's a lot of fun to watch. A lot of fun to do, but that's the main thing. My intern is speaking tonight, so I'm excited for her. Oh, and by the way, big news. I resigned my position as youth pastor at my church. Say, Paul, why did you lead with that? Well, it's kind of in the description. And I want to get into that as to why I did that. I'm not in trouble. I didn't do anything wrong. This was completely on me. And I made the decision to do that. And so we're going to talk a little about that today and what that means for you guys and the channel and all that kind of good stuff. But I still want to answer questions today. So I need anybody in here to start hitting up the chat. Let me know where you're from, what church you're at, all that kind of good stuff. Maybe what you have planned for tonight, or if you have any questions. I want to be able to answer any questions for you. And so for me, say, Paul, why did you resign? Well, this is my 8th year with this group. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it is about that I've taken these kids about as far as I can. Hey, Alan from Colorado. I've taken these students as far as I can take them. Now, listen, after almost 30 years, if you look at if you add in my volunteer time, I've been at this for about 30 years. And I've enjoyed it immensely, obviously. To stay in it this long, if you don't enjoy it, you're just crazy. You're just a masochist if you don't like it. If you don't love it with your whole heart, if you don't love young people, if you don't love all of that, I don't recommend you stay in it for 30 years. So for me then, the number one reason is I have taken these kids as far as I can take them. And at this point now, I'm not going to say that I'm never going to be a youth pastor again, because if you've been at this long enough, youth ministry is a lot like the mafia. They have their ways of dragging you back in. So for me, at this time period in my life, I am turning 50 this month. I have my youngest child is going off to college. And it just seems like the right time to do some other things. And I'll get into that in just a second. I would say the other reasons that I have resigned my position, number one is position, the season of life. There's taking the kids as far as I've taken them, is true. And if you don't know, I work in a church that is an aging rural church. And I just said to myself, you know what? These guys need a shot. They need maturity. They need wisdom, but they also need youth. They also need vibrancy. And my hope is what this has done is created a creative crisis amongst the church where I want to see the church really jump in and people snap and come alive, right? I want them to say, you know what, there's these kids need us right now, and the church has to take that responsibility to wrap their arms around them and have different people from the body of Christ do some things rather than me being the sole person doing this in this regard. That I need the church to be vibrant. I need the church to gather around. And once again, I'm not, there's no problems. The youth ministry is fine. You know, uh, it for me, maybe it's become somewhat predictable in the sense of I know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen on a Wednesday night. I know the programming. I know this. Love the kids, by the way. This has nothing to do with students. This has everything to do with my journey and their journey um, uh, diverging at some point. That says, well, Paul's needs to get on with what they're doing, and the students need to get on with with uh, being more active and really stepping up in some areas. Now, listen, I have a group. If I don't have anything else, I have a great group of leaders. Just about every kid in my youth group can lead. And that's on purpose. I train them to do this. I release them to do this. And so I'm not worried about, is the youth group going to continue? That's, if the youth group was in the tank, I would have a harder time leaving than if it was in good shape. And I think it's in great shape. I think it's going to do very, very well. And I'm going to be staying through the middle of July for transitions to help them acclimate. And then I'm going to spend, here's where what's new coming in. I would like to spend more time with you, right? And with other youth workers, because I think the time has become right that for the past 10 years that I've been doing this on YouTube, that I think it's time to us to connect on a further level, right? I would love to come and speak more, train more, do more videos, pass along what I know, share with you what I'm learning new in youth ministry. And this is really about my journey too, as not just a youth worker, but as a human being, right? As somebody who needs to grow and trust God at a much higher level than I think that I have. I think when you get into a rut, I think you start trusting God less and less because you think you have it, right? You think you have it going on, or you think you have it down. And I'm like, God, I'd rather give that up and trust you even more than to be in the rut and to trust you less. Even, you know, whether the job is good or not. Listen, it's just not, for me, it's just more of a trust factor where I just want to trust God for more. And if you want to hear any more, I did do a video on my Facebook. So if you were not friends on Facebook, you can go to facebook.com/Paul W. Turner. You can watch the video there. It's still up. Amazingly enough, it had like 1,400 views. It may be approaching 1,500. I thought that was wild. So anyway, Q&A, any questions about my transition, any questions about the church where I'm at, any questions on future plans, this is your opportunity. You know, some of you might be thinking about the same thing. I don't know. But this is your opportunity for a little Q&A on my decision-making process, on any of those things there. So I need you to hit me in the chat and tell me what's up and ask me some questions. Alan, I know you're there, so feel free to ask me any questions from Colorado there. And also if you have any questions, even if you just have questions for tonight, maybe you're dealing with an issue in your church, maybe you're dealing with a student, maybe you're dealing with some issue that you're not getting, I don't know, you're not getting the wisdom or the advice or you're just kind of a little bit lost in that area. It could be something strategic. C-Flow, how will I make, that's a great question. How will I make income? That's an important question, Mr. Flo. And so what I will do is I will be booking a lot of speaking opportunities. Wednesday night, preaching at other youth groups, really trying to instill about discipleship and really trying to help youth ministries become greater followers of Jesus, right? That's the plan, right? So number one, this goes in several streams, by the way. So let me break it down. So the first thing is go speak more. So that's Sunday mornings and Wednesday nights. So if you need me, hit me up. I'm booking for September and October, November, December. If you have a retreat, if you have those kind of things. If you need a retreat, if you need those things. Oh, hey, John, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that. You pretty much got, John, if you watch the video on Facebook, then you got the download on that. Now you're coming in on the question is, how am I going to make income? I'm not afraid. I was unemployed for 2 years, several years ago, when I couldn't find a church job. I worked every dirty job in the business. I'm not afraid of work. I'm not afraid of sweat. I'm not afraid of any of those things. And so I will work a 15, 20-hour a week job in the midst of everything else if that's what I have to do to supply. Once again, I'm in a different place in life. My wife has an excellent job. Okay, let me just leave it at that. So we're not gonna. I don't have any like huge amounts of debt. I don't have. In other words, if I miss a paycheck, we're not going to get crushed by it. Where a lot of guys who go out there are not prepared for that. They think everything's just going to happen, and that God owes them something, and the minute they don't get paid for a week, it messes up every dynamic in the thing. I'm not in that position, but I am going to be working, maybe doing some deliveries for Shipped, which is a grocery delivery business. I'm interested in that. To me, if you haven't noticed this about me, I really need variety in my life. I like to do things. I like to meet people. I like to be social. And so for me, that's what that's about. So back to your question, C-Flow, is number one, I'm going to go speak more. Number two, I am going to be writing quite a bit. I have several resources that I'm going to be putting out. If you don't know, a lot of the videos I have my store underneath, which is gumroad.com/youthmenresources. If you go there, I have a ton of curriculum. John's a good question. But I'm going to be, and I'll get to that in just a second. So what will happen is I have tons of curriculum that I have on my website there. So whether you go to thediscipleproject.net and click shop, or go to gumroad.com/youthmenresources, those links will be below. And so what will happen is I will just continue to write. I got a lot going on in my heart. I can't go fast enough. I just can't get it out of my head and out of my heart fast enough for you guys. But I do have several things coming out. I have a small group. I have a devotional, which is kind of devotional part 1 and 2 of Psalms 119. And I did volume 1 and volume 2 because Psalms pretty long. Psalms 119 is pretty long, so it's 176 verses. That will have a small group question component to it. And so I'm kind of getting done with that. That's going to be rolling out soon. I have a manual based on the namesake of my website called Disciple Project, where I'm going to be encouraging you to stop your youth meetings. Short term. I'm not going to get into that yet, but safe to say this, that you're going to get more value out of stopping your youth meeting than having your youth meeting. We'll get into that. That's a later video, okay? So between writing, speaking, working a regular job, doing independent work for other people. So I'm going to be writing for others. There are people that are asking me to write and do some things. So I'm going to do that, and they'll pay me. And the YouTube. So good question. I make, based on views, about $100 a year. No lie. So that's why I think it's important that as we begin to build this community, I would love to get it to about 10,000 subscribers. That'd be awesome. But that comes from you guys. That comes from you sharing. That comes from you passing on and say, hey, you need to watch this guy. He's going to be putting out all kinds of content, all kinds of creative stuff. And partially, let me tell you why this benefits a lot of you guys. You've seen my youth group over the past 8 years. You've seen one youth group develop over time. You've seen me come up with ideas. You've seen me try. You've seen me fail. But now you're going to see me travel. You're going to see me at other youth groups. You're going to see me doing more interviews. You're going to see me doing more content from around the state of Alabama, Georgia, other places that I'm going to go. And I'm going to be able to bring you more value because I'm going to be traveling more. And I'm going to be broadcasting a lot of my messages and things like that. So you want to be able to get in on that. That's going to benefit you guys. But I make about $100 based on views, based on ads, and stuff like that. You don't make a lot of money on YouTube unless you have a ton of views, which, by the way, my views are up. I'm up around plus 43,000 views, which is fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, all of you, for watching, sharing, liking, all that kind of stuff. because that helps contribute. So if you're saying, well, Paul, how can I help you out? Number one, talk about the channel, share my videos with your networks, things like that, so that with your denominations, and that way people can get in here and get some of the goods as well, right? So more subscribers, all that kind of good stuff. Seaflow, question, been serving as youth pastor for over 10 years with a group that is growing healthy, but the overall church is old and shrinking, dying contemporary move on, and dying contemplating moving on. Seaflow, that is where the situation where I am in. I love our church. Our church is a great church. Our pastor is a great pastor. But like you're probably in a situation where the overall church is not growing. The youth ministry is fantastic, or the kids ministry is fantastic, but maybe the overall church is not doing as well. And I think everybody has to make that choice. Once again, I don't know how long you're in, but 30 years for me is a long time. I've seen a lot of these churches, and I have stayed. Hey, let me be completely transparent. I stay a lot of times because I'm committed to small churches. I'm committed to the local church, the rural church. I love youth pastors that pastor those churches because I know how hard it is. It's super difficult. It's not easy. And sometimes it's not even fun. But if you are listening to what the Holy Spirit's telling you, you know, right? Seaflow, you know where you're at. You know where your family's at. You know where God's called you. And like I said, my 30 years in has led me to this point. It's not like I just got an idea one day and said, hey, I think I'm going to quit my job. Everything I'm looking at, that's maybe the encouragement I would give to you, Seaflow, is to look at your past. Sometimes looking at your past dictates where your future may be leading. So I don't know what other gifts, talents, abilities, and things you have. You're bivocational, or maybe you have some skills in other areas. I like to make videos. I like to write. I like to speak. I like to train. And I have been doing that through this channel for about 10 years, 10 to 12 years. I have my website, which has been about 10 to 12 years. So ask yourself then, what have I been doing for the past 10 years that has prepared me for what's next? And you say, well, nothing. Then I would say, start now. Do something. I mean, what's the downside of staying, right? For me, the downside of staying is that the kids don't get a younger leader. They don't get the opportunity to step up. The church doesn't activate to this creative crisis. They don't get involved. They don't have ownership. And this is going to require them to get ownership. And so that's the downside. The other half of it, this is win-win, by the way. Win for them. Win for me is I'm at an age now at 50. Well, what do I want to do for the next 20 years? And that's the next question you ask, right? Seaflow, you asked, well, what am I doing the past 10 years that prepares me for what's next? The question then is this, right? You say, what can I contribute? If I left here, what would I contribute? Where else would I go? What would I do? Well, for me, timing has led me here that I want to grab some of those dreams that I have. You know, I've already written a book. I'm going to write more books. I have a phenomenal community of viewers here, right? Built it up over getting close to 3,000 subscribers. I love that. But the dream is, if I had a dream, is to transform the way people do youth ministry so that they can make more disciples. Because I don't think we're making disciples. I think we're making great attenders. I think we're doing that, but I don't know if we're making disciples. I'll get into that. That's another video. You can tell where I'm passionate at, right? You can tell me where I'm at. John, you asked, I said, I've passed your channel onto my network of guys. I can't wait to see this channel get bigger. I just completed my first year of full-time youth ministry, and you have helped us tremendously. John, thank you so much. That is very good, man. I appreciate that so much, man. I'm glad that I can be a help, and my heart is for you guys. And I want to help you. I don't want to help you follow in similar traditions of what I've done. I want you to help you find your new voice in this new world, because stuff that worked 5 years ago ain't working now. Stuff that definitely worked 10 years ago ain't working now. Stuff that worked a year ago is not working now. And so I'm trying for us as youth workers to be walking in the Spirit, right? That we can know and be in the moment and like the I want to say the children of, you know what I'm talking about from the book of Judges, that knew at a certain time what was to be done, and they did that. To live in such a self-conscious or a self-aware moment that we're able to pivot and do as the Spirit will allow us to do, right, within our youth ministries. And so that's kind of where I'm at. You can tell from my passion, this is where I'm going. So I am not lost in the sense of, do I know what I'm supposed to do or that? I know exactly where I'm going as God allows, as God opens doors of opportunity. Once again, if you would love to book me, you're going to hear a little bit, but I'll just be honest with you, you're going to hear a little bit more pitchiness from me in the sense of opportunities. I'm going to let you know dates, where I'm going to be. I'm going to be in South Florida, end of the summer, end of July. First week of August, I'm preaching at a camp down there. I'm looking for dates after that. If you're in the South Florida area, would love to come see you. I will stay down in Florida as long as I can go speak and do things like that. Yes, I will have a certain fee, and that is not set yet. That is all dependent on budget and how I need to adjust for my family and what you are asking of me. So here's what I would do, John. I would go to my webpage, go to thediscipleproject.net, go to booking, and then send me a little message or email me at thedproject@me.com. Because every situation is going to be different. I don't want to price anybody out, but I also don't want to cheat myself either in the sense of saying, look, because I have to still pay bills. I still have to do some things. But I can guarantee you this, that whatever I charge you, I'm going to overpromise and over-deliver to you. I am not going to cheat you. I'm going to give you everything I know how to give you to help you and your students, without question. You will come out better in the long term. That I can promise you, because I think you noticed that's what I do. I love pizza, but I don't eat it as much anymore, John. Can I have a salad? Look, 30 years of pizza, John. 30 years of pizza has done this to me. No, John, I don't even drink soda. I haven't drank soda on any kind of regular basis for like 5 years since I had kidney stones and gallbladder surgery. Okay, so sodas are out, sweet tea is out. I'm trying to get pizza out for everything I can do, and so yeah, I'm on the healthy tip. Salads, protein, that kind of stuff. So it's what happens when you turn 50, guys. Plan on it, okay? Any other questions? Like I said, I want to stay on here just as long enough to, I don't want to bore you. I want to come right at that line between interest and boredom. So if you have more questions, if you have an issue tonight, let me know. If you have a question about speaking or traveling or any of that kind of stuff, a lot of this stuff's already on my website. So watch the website and watch here, because I will be posting quite a bit of, I'll try not to be, I don't want to be really silly, guys. I just don't. I want to put the opportunities out for you. And if you are able to grab onto those and I can help you, then that is exactly what I want to do. I don't force my way into anything. I let God do all the work. He puts it on people's hearts, and then we work it out from there. So keep that in mind. John, where are you at, by the way? I don't remember you saying where you're at. Where's your church at? Because I may be able to work some things around you, right? If I get a booking somewhere else, I may be near you. Okay, Walhalla, South Carolina. Okay, I know some people up in North Carolina, so that could be a thing, right? If I get my friend has me up there, I may be close to you, and I may be able to stop by and do some things. I have an idea, and I need your help with this. So I thought it'd be fun to do this. I would like to give away some things as well, new stuff that I'm doing, things like that. But I want to trade you, right? If you will send me, if you have, okay, 45 minutes from Greenville, close to Clemson. All right, I will take note of that. But I want to trade you for stuff. So here's what I want to do. Since I will not have a youth group of my own for a little while, and I have worn, guys, you've seen this, I've worn all kinds of youth group t-shirts. Why don't you send me one of your youth group? I wear an extra large, So if you want to send me a youth group T-shirt, and if I'm doing a video that day and I am wearing your T-shirt, I'm going to send you something for free. Simple as that. So I will put my address down in the description below after this video. And you say, I'm going to send Paul like 10 T-shirts. Maybe you got some old T-shirts laying around from your youth group. I will wear them. Since I don't have my own, I will rep yours right here on the channel and give you a little shout out. So just be sure to give me your T-shirt. They're extra large, and send me a little note, your youth group, church, and all that kind of stuff where you're at. Okay. Yes, work on that, John, soonish. All right. So I think I have given you guys the breakdown here. Any last minute questions? I'll take any questions you have at the moment, but be sure to go to the website, thediscipleproject.net. Tell me your interest level. If you would like me to come speak, train, it tells a little bit about what I'm offering. I will be offering even more come soon. Lots of things coming out. I do custom writing. I write devotions for youth groups, missions trips, camps. All that kind of stuff is also on my store. So you can go to the discipleproject.net and go to shop, and that will take you there, and you can find all kinds of summer devotions. If you don't want to write them yourself, buy them from me, and that way you can support the cause, okay? And that's about it. So any last minute things? Otherwise, be sure, maybe a video sometime in youth night time management. It's super tough fitting everything into. Yes, you're absolutely right, John. I love that, and I think we'll talk about that. I will mark that down because managing your time in a youth meeting, super important, right? If you've been following along with my series on Youth Meeting 101, it's about managing your time, right? And we will break down. We're breaking down the service piece by piece, but maybe I need to break it down minute by minute. So we'll go from there. All right, that is it for today, guys. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. I hope I have not disappointed anybody by leaving my youth group. And by the way, I'm going to stay around the church. I'm not leaving. This is going to be a weird case for me because normally when I leave. Not the case here. I'm going to be hanging around a little bit, helping with the transition. They'll see me on some Sundays, and I'll stay out of the way for the most part. All right, but that's it for today, guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button. So many of you like the video and you want more of them, right? Also, just be sure if you're watching this for the very first time, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you checking out the live thing. Wednesday at 1 is going to be a thing now. If you haven't figured out, I'm going to keep at it. So be sure to go ahead and subscribe and click notifications. Click the little bell down there and then click the notifications. You'll be notified when I go live. You'll be notified when I upload a video, all that kind of good stuff. And excellent, guys. All right, so hey, just to let you know, I'm going to be praying for you guys tonight. I'm going to be praying that you guys have a great youth meeting. You're loving on kids tonight, and going to be a good time. It is 1 here. I'm in Central Standard Time, John. It is 1 o'clock right here. So Wednesday at 1 is Wednesday is my time. So because I don't know what your time is, so I can't do Wednesday at 1 your time. I have to do Wednesday at 1 my time. All right, that's it for today, guys.